in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Anybody that wants privilege of the floor tonight?
I have a question about the ice rink.
Okay.
If there's any time frame for it opening, and is it opening? And if it does, are you gonna have any COVID restrictions or anything to do with that?
Don't ask me, I got nothing to do with the ice rink.
We
Who's
discussed
the
it.
ice rink man? Matt?
No,
Matt
I'm
said
not
he
the
was
ice
gonna
rink
drive
man.
down and take the cover off it this weekend.
I'm not the ice manager, and I don't want to be the ice manager, but we did discuss it at a previous meeting, and we agreed that we're opening it, and we don't, you know, other than signage, we didn't see any need for other adjustments to the, you know, for COVID. So,
Nothing to
no,
do with the bathrooms or escape room, nothing?
well, we didn't suggest anything. I don't think that there needs to be personally, but it's, other than that, it's assuming that we don't make any special arrangements for, you know, massive crowds that we get. In order to put it up, Rick sent me a message and I didn't respond to it. We need, you know, a handful of people. It can be done with 6 people who are working together. And normally we put it up in December when we know that we're going to, you know, when we're close to having a week straight of freezing weather. So that's normally what we try to do. Putting it up
You need to
with,
get some frost in the ground.
yeah,
So it isn't melting from the bottom.
And what about the logging this year?
yeah, I don't know what the village,
They're accessing right beside.
right. So I guess that I'll need to talk to the village about that to see how, if they're planning to like creep into that area.
I know currently they're done logging, they moved.
Oh, they're not
They
in that
moved
spot.
out, yeah, I
Okay.
think they said it got too wet for them for now, but I don't know if they're coming back or not, but.
Well, all of the, you know, the whole setup is there, all of the walls and the liner and stuff. We can order the hay bales to come, but we like them to arrive, you know, within just a couple days of when we're gonna use them, because otherwise they could get rained on or frozen in place. And then I'm open to suggestions, like what do we all think should happen? Like when do we feel like we want this thing to go up?
We need to make sure they're done logging, there, because they were accessing right through there, and it just seems like it'd be unnecessary risk to that. So, I don't know, shared services needs to get in contact with the village, since that is a village.
So presuming they're done logging, I mean, it's always been just play it by ear kind of thing. We don't say December 20th it's going up there. The first year we set up in February.
I think it's weather.
I think it just
Depending on,
needs
it's
to
gonna
be
be 40 this weekend, so.
Maybe water doesn't freeze very well at 40,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, you just don't wanna get a surprise snowstorm and,
Then we have to clean it up in order to put the thing down. That's
Right.
true too.
all right, well, I'll keep my eyes on it.
All right. I do have some concerns, obviously related to COVID. I think it would be short-sighted of us to just set it up and say, here you go, everybody, protect yourself the best way you can. I think that's something we've got to take a harder look at, given the way things are trending.
Okay, we can talk about it. I mean, currently my thinking is we just tell people they have to practice social distancing and we expect them to wear a mask, but.
I think the only issues there is the bathroom and the skate room, because we don't have any staff or anybody doing any cleaning or anything. I just wanna make sure nobody gets in trouble, because we didn't clean the bathroom. I mean, we generally clean it twice a year.
Well, we could, I mean, it's possible to shut down the bathroom too, we don't necessarily have to open it, it's, people don't stay there so long.
A lot of places won't be let you, we don't allow people in. We used to always, they had the road test to be held here always. We will not allow them in anymore to use our restrooms.
So let's just agree now.
Because we
maybe.
have to clean between
Yeah,
people coming in
I
and
don't
out.
think we could
Yeah.
realistically provide bathrooms.
Alright,
this
so
year.
everybody's nodding, so there are no bathrooms this year.
That is a good question about the skate,
Skate room.
room. Because if there's nothing to monitor it, how do you make sure there's adequate spacing and cleaning between there?
I've never seen it being an issue, and I don't see it being an issue, but we couldn't guarantee things for sanitary, that's the bigger issue.
Do we need input from our public health department prior to opening?
I mean, the town,
Where you're waiting?
I think I would feel more comfortable if we went to them and asked them what their current guidance would be.
well, yeah, but even worst case scenario is you have to bring your own gear, and there's no borrowing anything, and there's no facilities open, and I think. But I agree, I mean, I'm not arguing with you, Bill, I'm just trying to get that out.
No, I'm just, I'm not looking to argue either, I'm just wanting to make sure that we make the best possible decision for the town
Okay, so,
on this one.
I have to communicate with both the village and about the logging, and then the county with,
You,
okay.
you go ahead and reach out to the village if you want, I'll reach out to public health tomorrow.
Okay. Thanks.
I have a few things about the pool, I don't know if you want me to wait until the recreation committee, or,
Open comment section, up here.
We can do it now.
alright.
That way you can get out of here, and hopefully I can get out of here, too, and I can come back to work, so.
I think Peg had submitted to you already, Mark, the contracts or whatever from Todd Shady, Aqua Concepts, for the bids on opening and closing.
Yeah, she sent me, I can't even remember how much it was now.
Yeah, there was one for opening the pool was $735, closing it was $739. He sent,
Then there was some other,
there was all the insurance papers, a W-9.
then didn't he have something about, wasn't there an additional cost to do some more work with chemicals or?
Well, on the bill, it says $450 to open and close, standard fee, and then there were some additional items, and the
Yeah.
totals were $735 and
Okay.
$739. I guess those need to be approved and signed. I don't know whether somebody from the pool or from the town signs those.
Yeah, it'd have to be me. I have to sign everything.
It's less than what other companies are charging them.
So we're looking about 1,500 a year. Yeah. Somebody wanna make the motion, we approve hiring, what's the name of his company?
Aqua Concept,
Aqua Concept.
Can you speak louder? I'm sorry, your mask is muffling.
yeah, Aqua Concept,
Concept?
I'll make the motion.
yeah.
I'll second it.
Motion by Billy, second by Janet. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
So I will sign the contract and, you want me to get it back to you, or?
That'd be fine, yeah, if you could do that. We also had some supplies we wanted to purchase out of our budget. The total's $1,657.25.
You're gonna have to really speak up. I'm sorry, I don't hear well.
Yeah, I don't speak well either, so.
And my hearing, I can't hear you well. You're really muffled.
Okay. Yeah, it's for some supplies we need for the pool. The total was $1,657.25. I guess we need to get that approved. I don't know if you want a breakdown of what that is, or,
I think I'd like at least a general idea.
What it is there's $1,008 for 16 filters for the main pool, a full set. There's $238 for 4 filters for the kiddie pool, which is a complete set. There's a pH probe for the chemtrol system of $315. The last one got broke. And there's a sensor for the pool heater, $106.25.
Can I get copies of all that stuff that you guys have there? That-
Can I get you some tomorrow or something?
Yes.
Sure.
Please, yeah.
Now, let me ask you on this, Rick, so we don't get the bookkeeping messed up. Is this just coming out of your regular pool budget from last?
I
this
believe
year?
so, right, Janet?
Yeah,
Yes.
Just out of the regular
Yeah,
budget,
this would
we're not,
be-
it's not coming out of.
correct, it's
money
not
or
out of.
anything.
No.
Okay.
This is general maintenance.
Yeah.
Okay. So does somebody wanna make the motion to authorize purchasing the filters, the pH probe, and the heater sensor?
So moved. Second.
Second by Christina, all in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, contractual versus personnel.
That's what I thought, but I figured.
So what
we've had
is
issues.
this a company, they're gonna have to come in and we're gonna have to call them and set up as
Or the
a
opening
lot of
closing.
places you're gonna have to call to set up as a vendor? Is this something we're gonna have
For
to
the
do? or-
filters, you mean?
In order to get these, some of these places, if we have not done business with them prior, you have to be set up with them in order to charge.
Yeah, I imagine you're gonna have to get him the tax exempt forms, and we're gonna be using him to open and close the pool, it's the same guy as well. So we're just trying to get one person that we're gonna do most of our business with in the future.
No,
and-
I'm talking your supplies, and you're
Yes.
talking of purchasing. Is it through a company that you've used prior?
We have not.
It's the same company that the Todd Shetty.
Oh, it's this guy.
It's the guy that you just approved on hiring for next year to
Aqua
open and
Concept?
close.
Yes,
So we'll have to be set up with him as a, we'll have to set up.
yes.
Okay, so you'll have to come in and bring me everything if Mark and the board okays that, because we'll have to get set up with him.
Okay.
So you'll just have to bring me all this information.
I think we
And
already
then I
have
can
a bunch
call
of them,
them,
right?
you're giving me permission to order this stuff for the pool?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we've authorized spending the money for the filters, pH probe, and the heater sensor, so.
Okay, so
Whatever you
I'll,
gotta do to set accounts up, go ahead. Cause I imagine we'll probably be buying filters from the same company.
We're hoping to buy everything from him in the future too.
Yeah.
so we'll set him up as a vendor then.
I think we already got a bunch of paperwork,
And if
don't
you
we?
could, when you
Do we
sign
have,
the
we
contract,
already have a bunch
get
of that
copy of
paperwork
that
that
contract,
Hank
please?
got with
Yeah, I have copies of all that. I'll
Okay.
lay it down to her tomorrow and we'll get that all set up as a vendor. I got his insurance info and all that.
Right.
Anything else, Rick?
Not on the pool. I got one mention about the playground, whether you wanna hear it or not.
It was about the,
I'm not gonna use the playground, so I'm not really too
I think that
invested in it, so.
perhaps next month we'll have some information, and the PAC is going ahead with setting up and getting a great design for the playground. I just think we're gonna need to bring the village in a little bit, Janet, when it comes to be choosing the surface, because they are going to be, having to pay for, I'm not sure where the budget's gonna come from for maintaining, whether you go with wood chips or a solid surface. If you go with the solid surface, you know, someday it's gonna need replacing, it's gonna be a big expense. I don't know whether we wanna talk more to the town when we get some of those figures.
Town or village?
The
You said
town.
both. This
yeah, you
town?
mentioned
Okay.
village.
Or the village, whoever, I think they should be in on that decision.
Okay. Let me make sure I understand. Cause the town's the one that does contract out for, maintaining the current playground right now, that's our property. Having the town be aware of what surfaces we're using for, as far as the maintenance decisions go.
More of a choice as to which one we're gonna use, because they're gonna be responsible for maintaining it in the future and or replacing it, so I just thought that was, once we get that information, before we go any further.
Correct. Correct, because maintenance can be a considerable cost.
I know.
With some of the cheaper options that we have as far as mulch and others. So, yeah.
All right, but we'll put this together for next,
Pay something?
And
Well, a lot of
that's why I was a little
put any input
confused.
they want.
yeah.
'Cause it-
No, you'll get the village involved.
Yeah.
You mentioned village.
Yeah.
Was that?
I mean, if
You
we're
mentioned
paying for
village.
something, I guess it's our decision
Oh, you did
to-
first.
if
I
they
said
want to
town.
kick
No, you
it,
said village
it's
first.
their
Yeah, that's where she got it from.
Shut up, Tom.
Oh,
So what you're saying is this is gonna be the village's responsibility? for
No.
maintenance?
No, it's not, I
Oh,
misspoke, I meant the town.
okay, so it's the town,
I'll
okay,
explain
not
that
the
later.
village. So villages has nothing to do with this,
No.
okay,
At this point in time,
At this point in time, the village is not involved.
okay, that's where I got confused.
But hopefully we'll have more information in the future and we'll
Yeah.
talk about it.
Hopefully in the future, we can give it to the village.
Mhm.
That's all I'm gonna say about that. Anything else, Rick? Or-
That's all I have,
That's it?
Tom.
Okay.
What about the change in,
Oh, one other thing, Janet, we had a change, or Janet, you do that, please.
Yeah, the only other thing from the PAC meeting was that just a little bit more, specification with the recreation director, just to name the types of, not programs, but,
duties?
well, both the duties, but also like the names of like our chemtrol and other equipment that we're using, so that whoever's applying for this job has a better understanding of what equipment we're using, as well as some of the duties, including, maintenance of the filters, so we don't have to replace them so often, is one of our hopes. I'm just gonna pull up Peg's, email, but that was just, it just added,
Basically, we're adding a sentence or two
yeah,
to the job description
For
for the
next.
advertising.
yeah. Just to include, some more of the job description, including water quality maintenance, monthly filter maintenance, and familiarity with control and Hayward systems. It doesn't change what we're expecting of the recreation director, it just provides a little more information for the ad that would go out, for next year's position. So,
All right. Thanks, guys.
Wait a second.
That's it?
He had asked, Rick had asked me, and I said this had to go through you guys, about advertising for the position of it. I don't have any authority on that, you need to make a decision on that.
When we're gonna start advertising,
that starts next year, 2021, January.
we can do that at the year-end or the organization meeting, either one. Yeah. But yeah, we'll just have to vote to authorize you to put the ad in.
And I'll get you the updated copy of this.
Not a problem.
You good?
Okay.
You can go home. We'll see you guys. No, Elsie, you can't go.
Have a good night, thank you.
Good night.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks, guys.
Good night.
All right, moving on to approval of the minutes. We got the public hearing for the budget and the regular November 10th board meeting minutes. Are there any corrections, additions, to either one? If not, is there a motion to approve both of them? So moved.
Second.
Second by Christina. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Carried. Okay. Old business, I haven't heard any more on the emergency planning end of things yet. If you wanna ask questions, get hold of either Kristen
Yeah.
Janke or, Janke Snyder, or, Shelley Bennett Johnson. It might not hurt to just ask where in the process they are.
I'll do that.
Okay, thanks. O'Connor grant. Was that for the
Well, we've got,
gap we put in for the truck?
we did put one in, and they confirmed receipt last month. Their requirement was to get it in by the end of the month, because they said they told me that they meet at the beginning of the month, but we haven't heard anything.
Never heard anything.
back. But we do have an invoice here that we're gonna send to them, I guess, that shows that
I
the other
just
one,
made a copy.
this is for the previous one,
Oh, that's for the previous one.
the F-250.
Yeah,
So I expect we'll probably be getting reimbursed for that.
okay.
But I'll wait, I mean, I don't, how did they even tell us we won the first one? They sent us a letter, right?
Yeah, they'll send us a letter if they approve it.
Didn't you get a letter here a couple of
I
days
got a
ago?
letter that said we've received it, that's all it said.
Yeah, they said they were gonna act on it at their next meeting, so they didn't really specify when the meeting was, but well, we'll wait to hear on that. Any other old business?
I don't know if it falls under old business, but you had me think about it when I heard the word emergency. Has there been any more discussion about EMS and?
All that basically fell apart when COVID hit.
Mhm.
We had meetings scheduled with all sorts of
Okay.
people to
Yeah,
try to.
so it's a stupid question.
Yeah, as near as I can tell, there's no movement on that.
Okay.
Because the people we wanted to talk to then all of a sudden couldn't come down here, we couldn't meet in person, and then everybody got busy doing other stuff.
Mhm.
And I know the emergency services people asked if it was too late to put it in the budget for next year, and I'm like, yes, it's too late. Especially when we don't know how much it's going to be.
So the need's still there, is the
The
need
need is
getting
still
worse?
there. Well, the need is most definitely there.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's worse or the same, but it's still there.
So it will need to be addressed.
Yeah, we definitely got. I'll probably get hung for saying this, but I think it would be wise for this board to try and move forward. And put a little pressure on this whole process. We can put pressure, but we don't have the money to fund it. That's true. We don't. I mean, you know the options that we've talked about. Yeah, we really need at least probably 3 towns to join together. And we were making headway on that to some extent before things all went haywire. You know what I'll do, maybe, I will see if we can get, our county EMS director to come to the January town board meeting. And maybe she can give us an update of what they're seeing and possibly what their thoughts are. Wouldn't hurt. Because I can tell you the situation is not good. No, it's not. It's not.
But how to move forward is actually, I mean, we have enough data to say,
Yeah, we were collecting a lot of data, and then I think the data could be easily gotten.
and then it's a matter of working with multiple municipalities.
At least.
Do we
Yeah,
need
to spread the
support?
cost out, because for one town to do it, it's just, it might be justifiable, but I don't know that it's financially doable.
And it's not something that county coffers can manage.
Well, there's the other issue, because we're not the only towns right around here that are having the same issue, so the county may have to pick up, and come up with a plan. They haven't so far, but I know it's been brought up to them. So, like I said, I think everything on this kind of got put on hold, but I think after the first year, we gotta start pushing to get things moving forward again.
But Bill, when you said start, maybe we should be putting some pressure, who would we be putting pressure on? No.
Essentially the fire district.
All right.
And we had some meetings being scheduled to have some fire people, EMS people come down and kind of give us an overview of how
That's
we
why I
can
say
set it
I'm
up.
probably gonna get hung for that, but
Just make sure you use a new rope.
and they're socially distant.
Wear a mask while you're being hung. Alright, well, yeah, I mean, if you wanna set something up for the January meeting,
Yeah, absolutely, I'll reach out to Steve and Maggie and see if maybe both of them wanna come.
it wouldn't hurt for the board to hear the numbers of how many calls, you know. And the problem is we're a poor area, so some of the calls, there's not a lot of reimbursement. So,
One thing that I
makes it a challenge.
One thing that I can say that is, remained relatively consistent year over year, as long as I've been paying attention. EMS, typically between 30% and 40% of their call volume, doesn't even happen in our own town. And, you know, it's getting to be that way for all squads. Other towns are having to come to Delhi.
Yeah, it's, the problem's getting worse, so. We need to start gathering everybody back together and get the process back under discussion again. Like I said, for a while, I thought we were making headway, and then kind of, fell apart. We had a meeting scheduled, and then it got scrapped. All right, well, if you can give them for January, and let them, give us the latest news.
That I will.
All right. Assuming you don't get hung first.
Either way, the four of you will get to listen to the presentation. A win's a win.
All right, moving on to new business, equal employment opportunity policy. We have to have one of these approved and on file. I think one may have been done in the past, but nobody can find it, so. Basically, we have to have this for any housing grants or anything we apply for, we've gotta have one of these someplace. It's sort of like having the compliance officer, the appointed bail. This is just another step to make sure we cover all bases. So, if we do apply and do get a grant, we've got all the stuff to back it up. So, we've got the draft of resolution number 6 of 2020, equal employment opportunity policy. Does somebody want to make a motion to approve resolution number 6?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Christina. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
No, never mind. Gotta do the roll
Roll
call.
call, please. Okay. Mark?
Good thing else is still awake.
For a little while. Mark?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
Sorry, Janet?
Yes.
Christina?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Takes care of that housekeeping. Then we're back to where we were half an hour ago. Scheduling the year-end meeting and the organizational meeting dates. Let me get sidetracked. There's something there, and I'm all fell apart. I was talking to Billy earlier, year-end, probably either Tuesday the 29th or Wednesday the 30th.
Sound
I
good?
don't think anybody wants to do it Christmas Eve, so. New Year's Eve, yeah. Probably don't want to do Christmas Eve either, but, you know,
Whatever it takes.
whatever it is. Any preference on Tuesday or Wednesday?
I prefer Tuesday, but I don't care.
29?
Tuesday the 29th?
I'm good.
What time you want to do it? 4:30 work for everybody? How about you, Billy? You're off that week.
Yep.
You have no excuse.
Better get me early in the day. 4:30? 4:30 on the 29th for the year-end meeting? So we get that in the paper
Yes.
also.